Hello, hello. How are we doing today? It is Thursday Tea with me, Katie B. I am so excited to be here today. This episode is starting our kickoff of chakra education. So for the next few weeks, we're really going to be diving into the chakras, not just on Thursday Tea, but if you follow my page, you will find all kinds of chakra education throughout the week about how we get blocked is going to be on Thursday Tea, what it shows up like, and what you can do to clear those blocks. So I hope you follow along for this little bit of chakra education we're going to dive into over the next few weeks. But it is Thursday Tea, so in natural we have a tea today. Today's tea is Wild Sweet Orange by Tazo. And I know I have shared this tea before, but we are drinking this tea today because we're going to talk about the sacral chakra, and orange really aligns with the sacral chakra. So if you find yourself with a sacral chakra block, a wild sweet orange tea could be really helpful in clearing that block. So if you're here today, give me a little wave. Let me know what you're drinking. If you got tea or coffee, let me know what you've got going on today. So we are diving into our chakra education today, and we're going to talk about how the root and sacral chakras get blocked. These are really two chakras that are about our foundation. They are like the base chakras. This is the first two chakras that form from birth and on up, and even sometimes in the womb that root chakra is really starting to form. But we find blocks in these chakras a lot for multiple different reasons. So let's kick off and just talk about each of these chakras a little bit. But first, I want to let you know that today's Thursday Tea is sponsored by Chakra Reset Week. And what does that mean? That means that Chakra Reset Week is coming to you September 27th. It's a totally free week for you to really learn, clear, and come back into alignment in your chakra system. We do meditation, yoga, and energy healing. It's really, really a special and amazing week. So you can get more info on that at katiebach.com/CRW. All right, let's dive into this. If you're here, give me a little wave live or the replay, and let me know if you think you have a root or sacral chakra block. As we're talking, just drop a little comment and let me know your thoughts about it. Does this sound like something you're processing, dealing with? Could you have a block in your root or sacral chakra? So both of these chakras, your root sits kind of like in your pelvis, the base of your spine, and then your sacral chakra sits below the belly button. And both of these chakras have an external center of gravity. And really what that means is they kind of process your external world. And so the root chakra is always in this group mindset, the community mindset, your familial mindset, your tribe, all of those things. It really sits in that mindset. And the sacral chakra really processes your relationships and the effect that they have on you. And so that's why they sit in this external center of gravity. We start to go internal when we get into the solar plexus, which we'll dive into next week. But your root and your sacral chakra are kind of like your foundation. So your root is really that foundation that you stand on, all your basic needs. It's where you really nourish yourself. You find your stability, your security, grounding, connection to earth. And your sacral is about your relationships, but it's really your control and creative center. So it's where your creativity flows from. It's where your power of choice sits. It's where you have the need to control, which actually can create a block in your sacral chakra. We'll talk about that in a minute. So these two chakras are really, really big and important chakras. And like I said earlier, they're really the first two that start to form from the womb up until birth and then those first early years. So these really, really hold a lot of information within them that kind of like is about you and what goes on with you and your blocks and your triggers and all of these things. So what causes these blocks in these two chakras? How do these two chakras get blocked? There are lots of different ways, of course, but all of our money blocks sit within our root and sacral chakra. So all of our beliefs about money, all of our things that hold us back from receiving money, from allowing money to come in, sit in our root and sacral chakra. So our finances sit here. And because the root chakra holds all our basic needs, our finances are one of our basic needs in the world we live in today. And so when we have beliefs like you have to work hard to get money, or rich people are terrible people, or I have to struggle and hustle and do all these things to make money. I have to work a 9 to 5 to make money. I have to do this. All these beliefs about money sit in your root and sacral chakra, and they can block up those spaces, those energy centers. So that's one way that they can get blocked, these different beliefs that we have about money. And really, it all comes down to becoming mindful of these blocks. And that's how you start to clear them. But let's just, before we go further, let's touch on the topic that everyone gets blocked. Everybody gets blocked. So let's break down the myth that there's something wrong with you or there's something you have to fix because you realize that you're blocked. We all get blocked. We all have things that block us. It's okay. Remember that. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing to fix. It's about becoming mindful of these blocks so then you can start creating those pathways to shift out of those blocks and open up for that flow of energy. So blocks can also be conscious and unconscious. So sometimes we don't realize that these things are blocking us. All right, back to how the root and sacral chakra get blocked. So we're just talking about money blocks, and that's really a big one. Drop a little emoji how you feel about money blocks. How does that affect you when we talk about money blocks? Does it just make you feel like, ugh? Because that's how it makes me feel. But how does it make you feel? Drop a little comment below with an emoji showing me how you feel when we say money blocks, when we talk about money blocks. Because this ties into your root and sacral chakra. So let's go into the root for a minute. Your root chakra is that chakra at the base of your spine. It's your foundation, it's your stability and your security. So whenever you have an uncertainty, when you're uncertain about how something's going to unfold, when you're uncertain, when you're uncomfortable, that can create a block in the root chakra's energy. A lack of security, feeling like you're not safe, feeling like you don't have stability, like your foundation is shaken, that can bring up a block in the root chakra. A lack of trust can bring up a block in the root chakra. Now let's talk about this for a moment, because sometimes we have a lack of trust in ourselves because we're not taking care of ourselves. And this really ties into that root chakra, because when we're not taking care of ourselves, that means we're not meeting our basic needs. We're not nourishing ourselves. And so that's going to create that block in the root chakra, because for two reasons. Your basic needs aren't being met. You're not nourishing yourself, right? You're not nourishing yourself. You're not giving yourself what you need, but you're also creating this lack of trust in yourself because you're not giving yourself the things that you need and you're not taking care of yourself. So really, a big thing that you can do to help that energy flow through the root chakra and to clear those blocks in that space is to take care of yourself and to show yourself that you're trustworthy, that you are stable, that you are strong. Now, your sacral chakra ties into that self-care a bit, but in a different way. So your sacral chakra is all about flow and allowing. This is like allowing your emotions to flow, allowing yourself to be in flow. And so your creativity sits in this space. It flows through this space. So if you are telling yourself you can't be creative, or you're not creative, or you're not allowing that flow of creativity, this can create a major block in your sacral chakra. And I'm going to give you an example about myself personally. So I love to create mala jewelry. See my bracelets, created these, I've got necklaces, bracelets, all this stuff. I love to create it. It's part of my way of letting that creativity flow and keeping my sacral chakra open. And for weeks I had been drawn to make some bracelets, make some necklaces, but I kept saying, no, you gotta do this and you gotta do that. And I was putting it on the back burner, even though my soul was literally pulling me to do this, calling me to do this. And then I just found myself in this place of just so much in lack of joy, lack of abundance, just feeling blah. And I finally said, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make bracelets and I'm gonna make necklaces because this is what I've been being called to do. And I did it and I felt great because I opened up that sacral chakra block that had been really creating this block of energy and life source flow through me. So When we allow that creative energy to flow, we open up that sacral chakra space and we really allow ourselves to bring joy and abundance back into our life. So another thing that can block the sacral chakra is a lack of joy, a lack of pleasure, a lack of allowing yourself to feel that joy and that pleasure, not allowing yourself to play. All of these things really create a major block in your sacral chakra because your sacral chakra is about the sweetness of life. The sweetness, the joy, the pleasure, your desires sit here. All of these, and when you don't allow yourself to feel that joy, when you don't allow yourself to play and to feel pleasure, then that sacral chakra is getting blocked because that is part of the energy flow in that space. And so a big thing that blocks that sacral chakra is perfectionism, because when we are perfectionists, which recovering perfectionist over here, so definitely not alone. When we are perfectionists, we do and do and do until it's perfect, and then we're not allowing that joy and we're not allowing the play because we're working so hard to make it perfect. So we're blocking up that sacral chakra space. When in reality, you're already enough and you're already worthy of feeling joy and play just as you are when you wake up in the morning. So these are the things that block up that sacral chakra. Another thing that flows through your sacral chakra space is your sexual energy. So if you are not allowing that energy to flow, if you're telling yourself no when you want to say yes, all of these things really block up that sacral chakra space. So it really comes back to this element of self-care and nourishing yourself for both the root and sacral chakra. Because when you allow for that self-care and you allow yourself to feel joy and pleasure, then you not only open up that flow of sweetness and abundance in your sacral chakra, but you also open up that flow in your root chakra because you're giving yourself what you need. You're nourishing yourself and you're building that stability for yourself. So these two chakras really tie in with each other. And it's really, really important to have that self-care, to allow yourself to feel that joy and that play within these two chakras. So that's a little bit about how your root and sacral chakra get blocked. We dive deep into this into the Aligned Life membership, the root and sacral chakra. We really dive into uncovering those blocks and realizing them in such a way that it doesn't feel so heavy. And we're kind of doing it under the surface so that we can clear those blocks and really open up for that flow of energy. Now, we are going to dive into root, sacral, and all the other chakras during Chakra Reset Week. We're going to learn a little bit about them, we're going to clear them, and we're going to come back into alignment with that energy. So if you want to get more info about that, it's katiebach.com/CRW. We're going to do yoga, meditation, energy healing to really open up those chakra centers during that week. And, mindfulness and acceptance is the biggest part of recognizing your blocks. Just being mindful of, oh, I'm blocked, right? And if you catch, on Sunday, there's going to be a graphic that posts on my page about what are the signs of being blocked in the root and sacral chakra. And if you have those signs, then, jump on the quiz, the chakra quiz, and see, am I really blocked here? And what can I do to start clearing these blocks? So the chakra quiz is katiebach.com/chakra quiz. And it's just like 10 questions, and it helps you to uncover those blocks a little bit without having to think so hard about it. Because sometimes you're just like, am I not? What's going on? Anyway, I created the quiz to help you to discover your blocks in an easy and simple way. Now remember, we all get blocked. I'm processing a root and sacral block right now myself, and I'm doing what I need to do to support myself with things like allowing myself to go out in nature, allowing myself those dance parties that I love because it feels good and it brings so much joy. And so these different practices are helping me to clear out these blocks that I'm feeling. And you can do the same. So I am so glad you're here. Give me a little wave if you're here today and let me know how you're feeling about root and sacral blocks. If you have questions, what your thoughts are, I'd love to hear from you. I hope this was helpful. If you want to connect further in Chakra Reset Week, you can go to katiebach.com/CRW and join me for that amazing week. And lots of love to you. I'll see you soon.